people always look at the Ironman and Comrades and swimming from Robben Island and all those things, you know, they're great and big events, surely. But the biggest thing for me was overcoming the wheelchair. Because I remember the thought that I had when this all happened, you know. The thoughts going through my mind that life is over. It's completely over right now. And the moment that I overcame the wheelchair, mentally, not physically. Physically, it's not, that's not the biggest challenge. The biggest challenge was actually winning it in my mind, in convincing myself that, you know what, I actually have a lot more to live for, that life isn't over. After that, everything became more doable, became easier in life. If I would think of an Ironman, or swimming from Robben Island to Bloberg, it became small in considering, you know, the wheelchair and facing paralysis, because that was like the biggest giant I've ever faced in my whole life, is a health concern. Because I didn't have to do an Ironman, I didn't have to swim from Robben Island, I didn't have to do the Comrades, could have stayed home that day. But this I had to do, this I had to face, I had to overcome this, otherwise your whole life is gone, it's over. I think in the beginning it was adapting to the fact that everything takes a little bit longer and everything is effort. Things that you take for granted, like getting up, you know, out of bed. I've tried doing it half asleep, it doesn't work that well, like you can literally fall out of bed. Everything just is a lot more effort, and you get a lot less done in a day than what I'm used to. I can't plan my day so full because I just simply do not get to everything. You know, simple things like, let's say I need to go to the store. Let's say I have one stop to do. I just have to go and do groceries. I have to get in my car, so I have to lift myself up, pick myself up, get into my car, take my wheelchair apart, put it next to me in the car. I have to drive there. When I get there, I have to put it apart again or assemble it, get in my wheelchair, go do shopping. And when I do shopping, I have to push my own trolley in a wheelchair, or you have to carry it on your lap, get it to the car, and then get back in the car, take your wheelchair apart. At home, you have to assemble your wheelchair again. So one stop means assembling assembling and taking your wheelchair apart 4 times. Now, can you imagine if you've got a few stops per day at different locations? You can easily take your wheelchair apart and, you know, assemble it again 20 times in one day. And that's just going about your chores in a day. All of a sudden, just doing life becomes effort. Life equals effort, okay? That's just how it is. And even more so what I've noticed with sport. Getting ready, getting into my hand cycle, getting out of my hand cycle, climbing into a pool, putting on my wetsuit. You've done all that and it feels like you've already had a workout. So you have to think about these kind of things. You have to adapt to that if you want to be active, if you want to exercise in a wheelchair, that it is going to be a lot more effort just to get to that point where you can actually exercise and do it. Dealing with this accident, I always told myself that I want to be as normal as possible. I want that quality of life back. I want to be treated as normal, and I also want to feel as normal as possible. You want to have a normal, you know, relationship with people or with your girlfriend, and just that quality of life is extremely important. And I think that's also what helped me mentally a lot, is just regaining independence and that quality of life. With the new product, so what I do is I actually store it in different locations. I always have in my car, I put a few catheters. I always carry with me a few underneath my wheelchair or in my pocket. And then also, like if I have a backpack or a work bag or something, I always carry extra catheters in those bags. It's obviously quicker to use as well, and you don't have to struggle with cleaning it again and then putting it away, storing it safely. The single-use catheters is a lot cleaner process. You use it, you put it back and you throw it away. So yes, I do work with the Coloplast care team, and it's been really good. To be honest, the customer support is amazing. There are some times that my stock runs low or it runs out, and they can always just connect you with someone that can maybe just help you out for a day or two until your stock arrives. And that's really rare to see in a big corporate company. You know, the level of personal care that you get. And it's also very needed as well, you know, given the situation that you're in. Because if you run out of catheters, you're in a problem, you know, you have a situation then. I love the personal touch, the personal support that they offer. So despite, you know, everything that I have lost, which I have thought about so much, I think we can oftentimes forget the things we actually still have left. And making that decision that you need to make the most of what you have left is powerful. That gives you that ability to actually just go for it, to really just dream and just not hold back because of what you've lost, and really focus on what you still have left and making the most of that. You know, looking around, you know, I feel very privileged if I look at my life. Yes, I'm in a wheelchair, but I've got so much more to live for still. You know, I still love my sport. I can still do sport. I've got my family, I've got my friends, I've got my dogs even, you know, and of course I have my faith. But there's so much that I can still live for. So if anything that this accident has done, it was just a wake-up call to really make the most of not what you have left, but just what you have in general, but not take anything for granted and just live every day to the full. So I'm constantly thinking about like what is next. I think I have an interesting personality. Like now, after I've done the Ironman or the swim or the Comrades, I don't really feel the need to do 10 Comrades or 10 Ironmen. I don't know, that's just my personality. It's almost like I get bored with, you know, with doing the same thing over and over again. So I love seeking out a challenge, and I can't get this out of my mind, but I really want to climb a mountain again. And I know Kilimanjaro is quite a challenge, and that is definitely something that is on my list and on my horizon. Honestly, you know, maybe, you know, tomorrow I might think of something else and pursue that. So I haven't made up my mind quite yet, but I do have a few things that I'm thinking about.